Hola, mi nombre es Jessica y soy una estudiante bilingüe cursando mi primer año universitario. Hi, my name is Jessie and I'm a first year college student, and in this video I want to share with you the techniques and practices that help me the most to learn English by myself. You can apply this to any language that you're learning. I, for example, began to learn English when I was in my home country, Colombia. Colombia is a country located in South America, which first language is Spanish. So my first language is Spanish, and I started learning the second language in my home country for free in my free time. Antes de seguir, quiero aclarar que este video será narrado completamente en inglés y podría servir de ayuda como listening para muchas personas. Espero que te guste y sigamos con el video. I know that learning a second language might be like a nightmare for so many people, but what if I told you that you can completely learn a second language by yourself during your free time? You don't need to pay anyone or to pay any course in order to learn a second language. You can apply what I'm gonna share with you in this video so that you can become bilingual by yourself. Okay, so first you need to understand what is your purpose when talking about learning that language. You're gonna ask yourself, why does it matter so much to learn a second language? You can take a time, pause, and reflect. I'm gonna tell you what my purpose was when I started learning English by myself. I always wanted to learn a second language since I was a kid, and living in a country like Colombia in Latin America, learning English, it was really important, especially if you wanted like more job opportunities or just, be better at school. Learning English, it would benefit you a lot. But aside from that, I wanted to learn English because that would allow me to get to know more people, to communicate with more people around the world, to learn from different cultures, different kind of countries, things like this. So it was really important to me. And then the moment that I came to the US to live, and I was able to communicate properly because I took action in my home country to start learning by myself, it was really nice that I was able to do that. So you're gonna think about a purpose. Why do you want to learn that language? Because the stronger your purpose is, the more serious you're gonna be about learning this language and actually taking time every day to be constant and to practice every single day. Because now you have a purpose that is like your goal. You have to work in order to accomplish that. Now that you have figured out what your specific purpose is, now let's get into the plan that actually helped me to learn easily. This is what I call the baby learning rule, and I'm gonna explain that later. In order to learn a language, you're gonna first start with the writing and reading skills, because if you start by listening or speaking skills, the most common thing that is gonna happen is that you probably are not going to understand or fully understand what people is saying because you don't have a certain basis yet in that language. So what you're going to do is start with the writing process or writing skills. You're going to find a notebook, and this is going to be your language notebook. Everything you write in here, it has to be related to your learning process. So you're gonna first start with learning some basic words in the language that you're learning. This can be probably like specific words of how do you say bed in this language, how do you say hi, how do you say how are you, basic things. Next to those words, if you don't know how to pronounce them, you're gonna also try to write the pronunciation. This helps you because every time that you write a new word, you're also learning how to pronounce it. So you can write words, you can write sentences, phrases, and you are gonna read them, like repeat what you write, and this is gonna help you over time to also improve your speaking skills. Every day for a week, you're gonna dedicate at least 30 minutes into finding new words, new phrases, and new sentences, and you're gonna write them, and also you're gonna repeat them out loud. If you don't have a clear idea of which words to start looking for, you can search on the internet basic course of the specific language that you're learning. After you have certain bases and understanding of certain words like days of the week, like pronouns, name of basic things that are in a home, this type of things, now you're gonna jump into describing your day every day. You're gonna ask yourself, how was your day? And you're gonna try and write how was your day in certain language. Like for example, you can say today I had an amazing day. I went to the store, I bought this kind of things. You can do that, but in the second language that you're learning. This is gonna be really helpful because you are already thinking in a second language. You're practicing those skills like writing in a second language and also remembering what happens to you in a second language. Like if you're having a conversation, if someone asks you how was your day and you're able to write it, that's good because now you can jump into the next step, that is reading skills. After writing about your day every day, what you're gonna do is to read, but you're gonna read out loud. This way, you're gonna start developing your speaking skills while also reading. Since you have been consistent about writing new words every day and also describing your day every day and improving each time, now you're ready to start reading in a second language because you now have a basis of words, sentences, learning how to say certain objects, things like this on a second language. The beginning of this reading process is gonna be really easy for you because you're gonna start with children's books. They are really easy to understand, they have visual aids. You're gonna first start with something easy, not something too much complex that you can't understand. You can go implementing the level after some time. You can find this kind of books on the internet, but if you can afford one, it would be really nice, but you really don't have to. When you're reading your book, make sure to always read out loud so you can actually practice your speaking skills at the same time, and also highlight the words that you don't understand so that you can come back after reading and research what are the meaning of certain words. Try to always search the meaning of words in the language that you're learning. Like, do not translate the words into your first language because then you are not having like a deep understanding of the word. Now you're gonna be combining these two skills, the writing skills and the reading skills. You are gonna try and write like different words every day for at least 15 minutes, and then you're gonna read out loud for other 15 minutes, so that it would be 30 minutes every day of just learning new words and reading. If you start doing this at first, improving your writing skills, then reading skills and speaking out loud, this is gonna help you a lot. This is what I did. I started first reading children's books. This helped me a lot because it was something that I could actually understand and read out loud. It was not really complex. So yeah, you're gonna do this. We're gonna jump into the third skill, that is listening. The same way that you started to read books for children, you're gonna do with listening. You're gonna now choose to watch cartoons, stories for kids like fairy tales, Disney movies, but you're gonna do it in the second language that you're learning. This is really helpful. This is a really good start because you are also not listening to too much complex words and too much like speeches that are too complex to be listening if you're a beginner. Cartoons are made for kids, so if you use this material to learn, you're gonna be learning the same way that a kid does, and this is helpful because the way that cartoons speak is really natural, is easy to understand. They don't use like difficult words, and it is also a natural way to learn, the same way that you learned your first language through listening to your family members and listening to the cartoons and TV shows that you used to watch as a kid. You are gonna implement that, but now it's gonna be in your second language of choosing. Okay, so now that you have already started practicing your writing skills, your reading skills with your children's books, you started to watch TV shows, cartoons too, you are improving your listening skills every day. Try to do it just during your free time. Now you are gonna start practicing your speaking skills, which honestly you are already practicing because you are reading out loud and you are repeating also what you hear from the television. So this is just gonna make it stronger. What you're gonna do is to just describe your day in the second language that you're learning, but this time you're not gonna write first, but you're just gonna directly describe your day. You're gonna pause, take a time during your day, and you're gonna just talk to yourself in the second language that you're learning. You're gonna say like, okay, hi, I'm feeling really good today. I want to go to the park. I wanna do this. I used to do that a lot. Like I would speak all day by myself trying to learn English. I was like in the bus learning in my mind, and then when I came home I would also practice by myself looking at me at the mirror. So you can do the same. You're gonna start practicing your speaking skills, speaking out loud to yourself every day. You can describe your day, you can talk about something that is going on in your life, It doesn't have to be perfect. You are gonna be feeling confused, probably some things you don't remember, some words, but that is not a problem. That is actually showing that you're learning. So each time that you find yourself that you're talking and you don't remember a certain word, you're gonna, I don't know, find in your notebook which word you wanna say, or you can just research the word. And another way that you can improve your speaking skills is just by making friends that speak the language that you are trying to learn. So what I did, of course, I didn't have people that knew English back in my home country. So what I did is just to download a app where you find foreign people trying to learn the language that you know, and they know the language that you want to know. So it is like a exchange of knowledge. I don't remember the app. I'm gonna search the name right now. Okay, so I found the app. The app is called Hello Talk Learn Languages. You can find it here. I don't know if you can see it. This app allows you to connect with people around the world that are also trying to learn a second language. So you have the ability to chat with these people online and just share like messages, and they can correct you, like if you're having problems with grammar, if you didn't spell something right, they can correct you. You can also post things about yourself and people would like reply and say that that's so nice. It's so nice, like the community in this app is so positive, and yeah, everyone is just learning. So yeah, I really recommend this app. It's called Hello Talk. You can use it for free, and this sounds like a sponsor, but it's not. So just use the app. It's really useful, and I use it. It works for me. I get to know someone that it was like my mentor in English, and I was his mentor in Spanish. So we really exchanged a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills. It was beneficial for both of us. You can also make calls, and yeah, this is just your way to improve speaking skills with someone if you don't have anyone around you who speak this language. And yeah, this is called the baby learning process because you're gonna start with the easiest part, which is writing and reading. These are the easiest ways that you can start learning a language, and then you are gonna jump into the difficult or most complex parts of learning a language that are listening and speaking skills. And also this has to do a lot with the kids learning process, because you're starting with reading books for children, you're starting with watching cartoons, and then over time, depending on how you feel on your skills, you're gonna jump into, for example, reading your first book in a second language that is more complex. It is really useful to start first with the content that is for kids, and then you can jump into more complex stuff like reading books of your interest and also watching TV shows or YouTube videos. That helps a lot to just keep in contact with that language. That overall what helps you the most is just stay connected with that language every day to practice. It can be the minimum thing about a language, but just keep the contact with the language. You can just write each day, you can read, you can listen to a podcast, you can listen to a TV show. It can be anything, but just don't cut off the contact with the specific language that you're learning. Remember your purpose, remember why you started learning in the first day, and if you follow this process of writing skills, then reading skills, then jumping into listening and speaking skills, I promise you that with the time you're gonna become more fluent in the language because you're practicing every day. It is basically impossible that you are not gonna learn. Just be patient, just take the time, practice every day, be constant, and you got this. Thank you for watching until the end of this video. I hope this was useful. These are the aspects that help me learn the most by myself. And yeah, I just hope you to learn also that language that you want to learn. Tell me in the comments below which language are you learning. I am really happy to hear your opinion, your language learning process. I'm really happy to see the comments below, so please share anything you have to say. And thank you so much for watching. I see you in the next video. Take care, and you got this.